Very honored today to have Congressman Kevin Brady on. He represents the 8th District of Texas in the U.S. House of Representatives. He's a deputy whip for the GOP leadership team. He's a senior member of the House Ways and Means Committee, and he's chairman of the Subcommittee on Trade. Congressman Brady, thank you for coming on.
Well, George, thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Fantastic, fantastic. We've had a very interesting week here from the market standpoint. Markets have been, from an American perspective, you see some optimism, some things that people are excited about, and I really like what you have put forward in the MAP Act. And the MAP Act, for our listeners, is Maximizing America's Prosperity Act. And I'd like you to just tell us a little bit about the MAP Act.
Well, George, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you having this interest, and we need a lot more venues for people to follow the economy, to follow just the huge, massive burden of regulation that's coming down on them, and I've never seen it at the level we've seen today. And also talk about, how do you get this spending under control? How do you get us out from under this debt crisis? And what the MAP Act is, basically we took the lessons from our global competitors around the world who got themselves deep in debt and what they did to get their financial house in order and grow their economy at the same time. And then we took a lesson from the states, which do a much better job of controlling their spending and balancing their budget than Washington does. And we put those best tools together in the MAP Act. And the goal of the MAP Act is basically to shrink the size of the federal government by a quarter this decade, by putting guardrails around future Congresses and the president to limit what they can spend, by sunsetting obsolete and duplicative agencies, by creating a line item veto in effect for any president so they can go deep into a budget and cut out frivolous pork barrel projects. And then we make sure we don't have government shutdown ever again by ensuring that if Congress gridlocks at the end of the year, today rather than buying their way out of it, this basically says, look, government will continue, but it will be at a 10% discount. We'll be smaller as long as Congress gridlocks. So for once, when they don't get their work done, it'll actually work for taxpayers and not against us. And we've worked with some of the key conservative budget people in the country, including President Reagan's former budget director, in creating this legislation. And, George, we're just getting, it's just getting to be known, but we're getting very strong support from a lot of the key people on this.